Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanajanasalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Utapadakkamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sakagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarvyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaye Vachapatitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Isvaraga Paramaha Krishnaga Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhir Govindaga Sarvakarana Karanam. Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita, the purest knowledge, Pavitram, and the topmost knowledge, Uttamam. In this Bhagavad Gita, we are understanding what is karma, akarma, vikarma, everything we understand. And the difference between sannyasa and yoga also, yogi. So, everything is Krishna, everything Krishna is teaching very clearly so that there is no room for any interpretation, no room for any confusion. That means we should study only Bhagavad Gita as it is. Anyone who studies Bhagavad Gita as it is, understands Bhagavad Gita as it is, will definitely accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no doubt about it. Only those who have no knowledge of Bhagavad Gita will talk all kinds of nonsense. Whatever they talk, it won't make any sense. But they talk as if they know everything. That is the problem. Without knowing Bhagavad Gita, without understanding Bhagavad Gita, which is the most confidential knowledge, in this way, people talk their own philosophies, their own faith, this, that, lot of things they talk. Ultimately, they don't achieve anything. They will lose the time, that's it. This human life will be lost. That is the only thing will happen. And we should not follow them. Then we will be losing our precious human body also, this human life. So that way, we are all very fortunate people, fortunate devotees of Krishna. We are able to understand Bhagavad Gita as it is. So we understand very well. We understand everything very nicely, very clearly. And all the questions are answered in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna answers all the questions asked by Arjuna. And we are understanding everything. So that means all the answers we are getting from Bhagavad Gita. So, ultimately we understand from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching us that Sarva Gukhya Tamam. Everything. So, Krishna is teaching us that there is only remembering Krishna. So, everything. So, it's the topmost confidential knowledge is to only Manmana Bhavamadbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mamevaisisi satyam te pratijani priyos. So that's what Krishna is doing. Sarva gukhyatamam bhuyaga sunume paramam vachagam. Ishtoshi me dritam iti tato vakshyami te hitam. That's what Krishna says. In the 18th chapter, 64th sloka, Krishna is saying that Sarva gukhyatamam bhuyaga sunume paramam vachagam. Now you hear from me again from the secret of all secrets. Idite jnanam akyatam gukhyat gukhyataram maya. So, what is that? Ishtoshime dhritam iti tato vakshyami te hitam. Because you are dear to me, so that's why I am teaching you this most confidential knowledge for your benefit. So that is worshipping Krishna. That's it. Remembering Krishna, fixing our mind on Krishna. Then we'll go to Goloka. We'll go to Krishna. So this secret no one will understand other than a devotee of Krishna. So this is the secret. We are understanding. We are understanding because we believe in Krishna. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparag. That's what Krishna is saying. So mai sanyasya matparag. Buddhyogam upashitya machittaga satatam bhava. So if you are using our intelligence means remembering Krishna all the time. So that's what Buddhyogam upashitya machittaga satatam bhava. Machittaga satatam bhava means always think about me. Always focus your thoughts on me. So that is what is intelligence. If you are using intelligence means we are engaged in Krishna consciousness. We are engaged in remembering Krishna. Otherwise, we are not having intelligence. If you are not engaged in Krishna's service, if you are not connected with Krishna, we will not have intelligence. That's what Nasti Buddhi Ayuktasya. We studied already at length in the 2nd chapter. So our intelligence will be lost if we are not engaged in Krishna's service. Nasti Buddhi Ayuktasya. Whereas if we are engaged in Krishna's service, if we are engaged in remembering Krishna, so that means we are gaining intelligence. That's why Buddhyogam upashitya, mamasa Buddhyogam upashitya. So Krishna is saying that. So if we, with intelligence, so we will actually worship Krishna. Machittaga satatam bhava. What happens if we always remember Krishna? Machittaga satatam bhava. Machittaga sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishish. So if you do that, then by my mercy, if you remember me all the time, if you think about me all the time, then by my mercy, all your problems will be solved. All your impediments will be gone. All your obstacles will be removed. That's it. By Krishna's mercy only that can happen in our life. So we are all now gaining Krishna's mercy because we are thinking about Krishna, we are remembering Krishna. When we are learning everything in this world, we are making a memory of it. It is getting stored in our brain. So first we will get the information through our senses, especially the sense of seeing and the sense of hearing. Sense of hearing is very, very important sense. Sabdadin Vishayams. So Sabdadin Vishayams. Sotradin Indriyanyanye. Samyamagni Sujupudi. Sabdadin Vishayananye. Indriyagni Sujupudi. So this Sotra, the hearing, is a very, very important sense. It is said that in the memory, so iconic memory and echoic memory. So when you see, so then it gets into our memory. That's what it gets registered in our memory. So sensory register basically. So whatever we see, it stays only for half a second. Whereas whatever you hear, it stays almost 3 to 4 seconds. So that way, these are the main way by seeing and hearing, and of course by smelling, tasting and all, we are getting the knowledge. And then that gets stored. So we process it. It gets stored. So we know, we already understand that short-term memory, long-term memory and all such things. So the long-term memory is stored in our cortex. So what is very important thing is that we should actually, what Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita, that we should actually store all about Krishna's memory in our long-term memory. That's what is very important. All about Bhagavad Gita, these slokas, what Krishna is teaching us in Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's wonderful leelas, and everything about Krishna should be stored in our brain. That's also known as long-term potentiation. So that's what is very important. It should be stored everything in our brain, everything about Krishna. So that is a very scientific process actually. This is a very scientific process. So that's what is happening with us every day when we are studying this Bhagavad Gita. Even though we may think that we are studying the same slokas again and again, but we are enjoying. So that is true. Every one of us is accepting that. That's why even if we are studying the same slokas again and again, so it's giving us so much happiness. But the important point here is that we are recalling. We are retrieving from our memory and again storing it back. So that way, it is actually getting very, very strongly stored. Everything is stored very nicely in our memory about Krishna. So if we keep doing this, then if our brain is full of Krishna's memory, like in our computer, we store a lot of files. So if we erase all the useless things and store everything about Krishna. So like that, we need to erase all other memories, all other useless, waste memories, which we have accumulated in our life. That's of no use. So we need to store everything about Krishna only in our brain. When that happens, that means if you want to go and recall something, retrieve something from our memory, everything it should come only about Krishna only, nothing else should come. If that happens, then by Krishna's mercy at the time of death, we will be able to remember Krishna. Because our brain is only filled with thoughts about Krishna. So that's why Matchittaga, Krishna is keep on saying that, always thinking about me. Matchitta, Madgata, Pranam. So Manasamyamya, Matchitto. So the reason Krishna is teaching us that you control your mind by thinking about me. So that way, Chetasa Sarva Karmani, Mai Sanyasya Matparagam. So all such things. So we need to focus our thoughts, focus our mind on Krishna only. So that's why Yatha Viniyatam Chittam Atmanyeva Avatistate Nisprigaga Sarva Kamebhyo Yukta Ityuchate Tata. So we should be free from all other desires. Nisprigaga Sarva Kamebhyo. So that means in our mind, in our brain, so nothing else should be there. No other thoughts should be there. Everything should be completely removed, should be completely cleaned. That's what it should be completely taken away. Only the thoughts about Krishna, only the knowledge about Krishna, only the memory about Krishna, remembrance of Krishna. So with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, that's what is going to help us at the time of death. That's what is going to take us to Goloka. So for all such things, this Bhagavad Gita is the starting point. This Bhagavad Gita is the one we will continue to study, continue to understand and follow and remember and chant and everything. This Bhagavad Gita slokas are going to help us to go to Goloka. So that's why Krishna gave this knowledge to us, this Bhagavad Gita. Krishna came to this world, even though he need not come, even though he need not do any other work, even though nothing is forcing him to do anything. Today, this sloka, what we are going to study is that everything is forcing us. Today and tomorrow, what we study in the third chapter. So everything is forcing us. Everything is being forced upon us to work. But nothing is forcing Krishna to come here. Nothing is forcing Krishna to do anything. So that is only Krishna is deciding to do. Krishna wants to do. Krishna is helping us. Krishna is saving us from this mortal world. So that's what is happening. So Krishna is giving us this knowledge. We are going to go to Goloka. We are going to enjoy in Goloka. So because Krishna wants to save us from this material world. So that way, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is a very, very scientific knowledge. It is the king of science. It helps us to control our mind. It helps us to focus our thoughts on Krishna, and it helps us to gain intelligence and be a Sita Prajna with steady intelligence, and it helps us to remember Krishna at the time of death and go to Goloka. So that's what this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is about. So we have got it, we are getting it, we are going to completely understand this entire Bhagavad Gita and follow in our life. There is no doubt about it. And Krishna is helping us in each and every step. Krishna is always with us and Krishna is helping us, and we are going to go to Goloka. There is no doubt about it. So now what we need to do is that again and again, we need to study this Bhagavad Gita and spread this message and chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and offer prasadam to Krishna. So make sure that our life is fully, completely in Krishna consciousness. That's what we need to make sure. Just that wish itself is enough. If we wish, if we want to serve Krishna, if we want to please Krishna, then rest is taken care by Krishna. Because Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna wants to do anything, he will make it happen. So that way, Krishna wants every one of us to become devotees, but that one thing Krishna cannot force upon us. So that is the only thing Krishna's hands are tied. So he cannot make everyone as a devotee of Krishna. So that if we decide based on our faith, our understanding, that I want to be a devotee of Krishna, I want to serve Krishna. So that decision, if we make, that wish, that desire, if it comes to us, then Krishna can help us. Then we are able to achieve Krishna's mercy, and we are able to serve Krishna, and we are able to make use of this life, and Krishna is giving us intelligence, knowledge, everything what we need, Krishna gives. So that way, this time is very, very important for us. We cannot lose this time. We have to completely utilize this time, this human life, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. We should completely get it and spread this message and make devotees everywhere. It is very much possible. When we want to serve Krishna, Krishna is also serving us, and Krishna will help us to grow in our efforts, like to grow our business. This is a real business. Serving Krishna should be our business. Nothing else. In this material world, the materialistic businesses, they will always have targets. So they will have targets and they want to achieve this target for every quarter and all such things. And then they fail to meet their targets, then their stocks come down. So here it is not like that. Here Krishna, our target is to identify as many devotees as possible. We want to identify as many devotees as possible and give them this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And simply depending on Krishna. So if we just do this as our business, this is our main primary task. So that's why I always used to say that this should be our primary task. Our primary task is spreading Krishna's message, making devotees, identifying devotees, and giving them this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. So if we make sure that if we are engaged in such kind of service, so then all other tasks are secondary tasks, secondary, tertiary, all such tasks. So they will all automatically happen. If you fulfill this primary task of pleasing Krishna by spreading Krishna's message, by identifying devotees and sharing this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, all other tasks Krishna will take up. By Krishna's causeless mercy, it will all happen. So now we are studying this Bhagavad Gita. In the 3rd chapter, we finished 3 slokas. So Arjuna is asking a question to Krishna. Arjuna asked in the 1st sloka in the 3rd chapter that if you think that intelligence is better than fruity work, then why do you want me to engage in this ghastly warfare? So if you are asking me to use intelligence and then you are asking me to fight in this battlefield, now I am very confused. You tell me for certain what is good for me. That's what we are studying. So what Arjuna asked Krishna in the sloka number 2nd sloka, Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mogayasiva me tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyo ahamapnuyam. So my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mogayasiva me. Tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyo aham apnam. So you tell me for certain only one, whether I should fight or I should use intelligence. So by which I can get benefited. That's what Arjuna is asking. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. So then Krishna started answering. We studied yesterday. We started with the third sloka in the third chapter. Krishna is saying that Shri Bhagavan Vacha Lokeshmin Vividanishta Pura Prokta Mayanaga Jnana Yogena Shankyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. In this way, there are two kinds of faith. Everything I have already explained to you in detail. So already in the second chapter, Krishna explained everything. Krishna explained about the Jnana Yogena Sankyanam, about the soul, especially in the sloka number 11 to 30. In 20 slokas, we understood very clearly that we are not the body, we are the soul. And then again from the sloka number 40 to 53, Krishna explained about the Buddhi Yoga, how to use intelligence. So that's why Krishna is saying that I have already explained to you, Pura Prokta. Pura Prokta means already I have explained to you everything to you. Mayanaga, O sinless one. Jnana Yogena Sankyanam, Karma Yogena Yogina. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical, philosophical speculation, and others by devotional service. So that's what Krishna is doing. So now here in the next sloka, what we are going to study, this sloka number 4 in the third chapter, Krishna is continuing. Na karmana manaramban naishkarmyam purushoshnute na cha sanyasana deva Siddhim samadhi gacchati na karmanam anaramban naiskarmyam purushoshna. So that means naiskarmyam means freedom from the reaction. That is, by not performing the prescribed duties. So that's what, by not performing the duties, by non-performance, anaramba. So Krishna is teaching that one cannot achieve freedom from reaction. So not by working we can achieve freedom from reaction. That's what we need to understand. So we have to work. In order to get freedom from the reaction, we have to work, which we'll study in the next sloka also very clearly, which I have quoted many times in the past, that everyone is forced to act. We simply don't have a choice. We are forced to act. That's what we need to understand. So here Krishna is teaching us very clearly that by not acting, we are going to get freedom from the sins, freedom from the reactions. We can get freedom from reaction only by acting without any attachment. Then only we can get freedom from the reaction. Tasmat asaktaga satatam karyam karma samacharan asakto hi acharan karma paramapnoti purushaka. So asakta means without any attachment. So asakto hi acharan karma, if we perform our activities without any attachment, then we will attain the Supreme Person. But simply not by working, we will not get freedom from the reaction. That's what we need to understand. So even in the 18th chapter also, Krishna says that Nagi deka vritta sakyam tyaktum karmani aseshataga yastu karma palatyagi satyagi abhidiyate. So after getting this body, we cannot Nagi deka vritta sakyam tyaktum karmani aseshataga. We cannot give up our activities completely. One should perform activities at least to maintain the body. So na prasiddhayet. So Krishna is teaching us very clearly that niyatam kuru karmatvam karma jayoge akarmanaga sarira yatra pichate na prasiddhayet akarmanaga. So if after having this body, if we don't work, we are not going to get anything good for us. So that's why Krishna is teaching us that na karmana manaramba naiskarmyam purushoshnute nacha sannyasana deva siddhim samadhi gacchati. Simply by sannyasa. So that means simply by renunciation. So not working, not acting, one cannot get siddhim, perfection. So perfection is not going to come simply by renouncing our work. Perfection is going to come only by performing our work without any attachment to the results. So not by merely abstaining from work, one can one achieve freedom from reaction. Not by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. That's what Krishna is teaching. Now let us chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and focus our mind on the transcendental sound vibration. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, 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 Ram Ram 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 Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, 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 Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Timit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji, Hare Krishna to all the devotees. I kindly request the devotees to use the Zoom raise hand feature to ask your questions to Guruji. A Venkat Nagarjun Prabhu says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram.
Guruji, there are no questions so far. So thank you, Guruji, for today's class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Viswajit Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Subir Mishra Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. No question, Guruji. No. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Chandrakala Mataji, Hare Krishna. Vishnuvardhana Rao Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
No questions, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare. Namaste. Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Palliyappan Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Today's your teaching is, I feel, is very, very important to remember. You said that you have to store in our permanent memory.
Yes.
That is more important, Krishna, this thing, because sometime we also discussed about we could remember only 4 or 5 hours in a day. After
Yes,
we were teaching, ourselves remembering only for remaining and all goes in our duty, other duties and other discussions and all that thing. By that way, this teaching, today's teaching is very, very important, that our Krishna's memory, this all the Krishnas require this thing to go to our permanent memory, so that anytime it will come back, whenever required, when we make mistakes, it will come back and remind us. That way, it is a very good advice given by Krishna to all. And thank you for your teaching the same to us. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Chandrakanta Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Guruji,
Hare
I
Krishna.
joined late, Guruji, today. Today I joined late, Guruji.
No problem.
Thank you
You
for
can-
the class, Guruji, but still, the chanting, I did chanting, Guruji, little chanting only I did.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Guruji, for every day reminding us about Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna to everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Sanjeev Kumar Shukla Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
हेलो
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
मैं शुक्ला हूँ, वो मेरे बच्चे का फोन था, उससे किया कि नाम गलत है। हाँ, हरे कृष्ण गुरु जी।
Hare Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna,
कृष्णा हरे हरे,
Hare Hare.
हरे राम
Hare
हरे
Rama,
राम
Hare
राम
Rama,
राम
Rama
हरे
Rama, Hare Hare
हरे
Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna
हरे
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sunita Mahapatra Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
All well, sir. Very
Yes,
nice.
ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna. Sumati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
I missed the lecture portion of your class. I will listen to it in YouTube, Guruji.
Okay, Mataji.
I was very happy to know that my daughter's flatmate right now is a very Krishna conscious person. So I was having a call with my daughter and I was talking to her, and she does 16 rounds of Mahamantra every day, I believe.
Wow,
So
very
this is
nice.
amazing. And my daughter is a very scientific and very practical oriented person. So we were both trying to tell her. She goes with Darwinian theory of evolution only. So I was trying to tell her a few other things, like even before Darwinian time, what has happened and how it is recorded. And she kept asking, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence of this, that? So hopefully with her friend, she will be able to,
Yes.
come to
She
some kind
studies
of...
Bhagavad Gita, then complete knowledge. She
Yeah,
gets
so that girl, she's staying with her for a few days only. She's visiting her. But we both had a very, very interesting discussion now with my daughter also. And I'm so happy she's getting into the line of inquiry now.
Yes, yes.
That is the most important thing.
That's very important. Yes,
very, very happy today, Guruji, because of that.
very
Thank you. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much. Thank you for keeping us in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Asha Singh Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Guruji, for a nice session.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
And thank you, Guruji, for keeping us in Krishna conscious daily. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Ravin Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Guruji, wonderful class, Guruji. Thanks for keeping us in Krishna consciousness all the day, Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
Yes.
so today in your lecture, Prabhuji, we are learning that we should remember Krishna in our memory and we should remove everything else from our memory. So, Prabhuji, can you please explain a little bit more how in the modern world, how we can do this when we have a lot of other things to do kind of thing, Prabhuji?
Actually, Prabhu, what happens is that in our memory, if something we already have, which is not Krishna related, if we don't use it, after some time, it will be slowly decaying. So that's what happens practically in our memory. So in our, whatever we want to do, now our goal is to do everything only for Krishna. That is the main thing. Whatever we do, we should think that we are doing it only for Krishna. That's what today during the lecture I was explaining, that our primary task is only serving Krishna, that is spreading this Bhagavad Gita. That should be our primary goal. So everything else is secondary. So if we are going to work, we are going to work because of working, we will be able to spread Krishna's message. That is the reason we are going to work. So like that. Whatever we do, we need to think that we are doing it only for Krishna, not for anyone else, not for our family, not for anyone, not for anyone. It's only for Krishna. That should be our understanding. Based on Bhagavad Gita, we should do. Like Arjuna. Arjuna is a perfect example. He ditched everyone and he was fighting only for Krishna. Arjuna told Krishna that how can I counterattack with arrows? Drona and Bhishma, who are worthy of my worship. Katam Bhishma Magam Sanke Dronam Chamadusudana Isubhigi Prativachami Pujaram Arisudana. He told that Nachetad Vidmaha Kataranno Gariyo Yadva Jayema Yadivana Jayu Yaneva Katva Najiji Visamaga Teyavasita Pramuke Tatarashtra. If I kill them, if I kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, I don't want to live. And he also told Krishna that Guru Nagatwagi Mahanubhavan Shayo Bhoktam Vaiksham Apigaloke Hatvata Kamamstu Guru Nivagiva Bunjiya Bhogan Ruchira Pradiptam. So all such things he told, but at the end, did he say anything about it? He was saying that I am going to fight for you, Krishna, Karishe Vachanam Tava. So the same thing he was doing in the battle, fighting only, but now he was fighting for Krishna. So like that, if in our life, everything, if we decide to do only for Krishna, so then it is very much practical. You understand that, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. So what I'm understanding is that whatever we are doing currently, we do continue the same thing, but we have to understand that we are doing it for Krishna. So with that consciousness,
that is correct. Yes.
So when we are, so basically nothing changes. So, but our basic concept changes, that we are just working for Krishna only, not for anyone else.
That is correct. We are doing only for Krishna so that we can spread Krishna's message. That should be our primary task, nothing else.
Okay, Prabhuji. Well understood, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Venkatanagarjan Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji, for today class. As it is. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Deepesh, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Viswajit, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Kadiravan, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. How is Mritula doing, Prabhu?
She is improving, Guruji. This is good. And discharged from hospital. He's in house.
Very nice. Very nice.
Now, sir, Guruji. No problem. It's improving.
Yes, Prabhu. Krishna.
Guruji, today's class is very wonderful class, Guruji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Then Hare Krishna to all the devotees and Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
No questions. No questions.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Manoranjan Sagar, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Ram, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I'm just finishing board meeting call, Guruji. All went well. I started chanting with you. As the other Prabhu was asking, I don't bother about the immediate boss. So I left it to Krishna and everything went well, Guruji.
Yes,
I was just chanting along the presentation as well. And some people are alarmed because my chanting heard them in husky voice. I forgot to put it on mute. So Krishna is everywhere, and so I couldn't come and I was busy. I could have said that today is Ekadesi, I'm chanting, guys. That's why you're hearing echoes. And some more who are tuned to Krishna, they are able to connect, Guruji, which is very true, Guruji. The telepathy and Chinese also something called Quan Kong. Those things they communicate, Guruji. We are a medium. See, now we have this wireless, all these things and all, Guruji, wireless box and routers, antennas and all, right? Similarly, this human body is an instrument. We are not utilizing it well because we are all limited knowledge. So we can utilize to do many wonders with this human body with connectivity to Lord Krishna. The basic fundamental step is chanting, Maha Mantra chanting. The next level, that's how those Gurujis are able to talk to the Creator. Those saints, Gurujis, those rishis who live in Himalayas and all, because they all accepted Krishna's will and they are executing, Guruji. That's happening, and it's really a great wonder, Guruji. And it is simple to do. We don't have to do any hardship to get these things. No, we don't have to do the japa or tapas, all these things, sit in a jungle like the saints. And Kali Yuga is an advantage. And Srila Prabhupada has clearly given a notes, handy notes, everything. There is no need to research anything. We don't have to involve in research. We should simply abide the statutes given by him. Listen, follow, read his books, and chant Maha Mantra, eat Krishna Prasad. Very simple, Guruji. And that's good enough, Guruji. And I am experiencing Lord Krishna, Guruji, in all my walks of life. Everything goes well. Thank you very much, Guruji. Very much indebted to you. You are offering this as a free service. I think the air I am breathing and your service is the only thing which I am very much indebted, Guruji. So, like whatever air around us, I'm breathing it. It's in the same manner you are offering this as a service, Guruji. And let's see, Guruji, how I am going to reciprocate. And I have to reciprocate by proliferating this and doing more Krishna services, Guruji. Hopefully things will get settled down for your end, Guruji. Then we have planned for this FM station and broadcasting, with the TV broadcasting with Mataji in Dharwad, right? Sakshi Gupta Mataji. We should start, Guruji, once everything settled at your end. And we should accelerate probably by this Christmas holidays. We should have our own channels and we should accelerate and move forward, Guruji. I think all will happen by the costless mercy of Lord Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna to all. And happy Ekadesi fasting for those who are fasting, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Deepesh Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
thank you for the wonderful class. Guruji, I'm noticing that, in my job, I am focused on, like Krishna says, do the job, right? Earlier, I think Ram Prabhu also has mentioned before, used to get worked up about different things, what that person is doing and what he's not doing. But now I have focused that, job is something which I have to do. I'm engaged and I'm focused on it, but it's not like it's not my life. Earlier, it used to be, in earlier part of my career, it used to be like, if job is not doing well, then everything is going bad, kind of thing, right? So now I'm noticing that I am just focused on doing a good job, and I think I'm doing pretty well, but
Yes.
I am not completely engrossed in my job in the way that it is consuming me. I think I don't know if I'm explaining myself well, but it is. I think I've seen Ram Prabhu say a few things like that, so that's why I'm also bringing it up. That I have moved to a mode in which the job is job, but there are other things in life,
Yes.
which is work-life balance, and the other, of course, the Krishna balance, I would call it. So I'm trying to maintain the Krishna balance, and I'm noticing that I'm calm, composed. I don't get worked up, and I don't, I'm like, I don't need to have an opinion about people who are not doing their job properly around me.
Yes.
I just don't need to, and I'm keeping it that way. And I think I'm finding more peace that way at work.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Krita Nischay. Krishna is saying that if you have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Krita Kritasya cha Bharata. So we will do everything to our perfection, no doubt.
Yeah, and I think Krishna is just giving me the calmness to approach even large problems in a very systematic way, and I'm able to just focus on, like, Krishna put me in this job, so I'm pretty sure I can do it. So I will do what comes to me as an idea, and I will try my best, and that's what I'm focused on. And things are going pretty okay, I would say, so far, in my opinion. So, and others too. So yeah, I just wanted to share because something which Ram Prabhu tells about his work also, and this is what I'm seeing, my Krishna balance,
Yes.
which I'm trying to
Very
achieve.
nice. I'm very happy to hear your experience. Yes, bro. All of us
Thank
will
you.
have this. Yes,
Yeah.
bro. We cannot now remember a life without Krishna. We cannot think about a life without Krishna. Yes, bro.
Yeah, well, I always wonder, and whoever I talk to, I always tell them, I wish I had learned this earlier in my career, in my 20s, if not my teens, maybe 20s. And why is this not taught in schools?
That's correct.
So I am I don't know if I can help with that, but I can
It will
definitely
happen. Krishna
try.
will make us to do something. Yes, bro. No doubt about it.
Yeah, this should be taught in schools in India,
Yes,
all over India.
we will plan. Krishna will make something for us. Yes, no problem. He will engage us.
Thank
We need
you.
to first identify lots of devotees, hundreds and thousands of devotees. That's the main thing.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you,
If we are
Guruji.
successful, then other things will happen. Yes, bro.
Yeah, and thank you for keeping us in Krishna consciousness. I think when you had taken a break for whatever reasons, I wouldn't say I was lost, but I did lose some direction, and I was traveling also at the same time. So I'm glad we are back on this track and engaging with everybody.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you for the wonderful class.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Manoranjan Sahu Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Manoranjan Sahu Prabhu. I'm not able to read.
It is more important because it is a way of life, and
Your voice is breaking. I couldn't hear you at all. Prabhu, I couldn't hear you at all today, Prabhu. It was breaking a lot. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Maybe we'll again talk tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.